When buying a home, one of the biggest factors in whether or not you can afford a home or whether you like the house payment has to do with the interest rate. So how excited should you get when you hear that interest rates are dropping? That is the topic of today's HomeWise segment with mortgage expert Tyler Osby, who joins me now. Tyler, behind garage door number 1, we are talking about interest rate improvement, or interest rates going down.
Yeah.
So if you could first just give us, as a mortgage lender yourself, just some context and a timeline of what you've seen over the last year with mortgage interest rates.
Yeah, well, interest rates have been improving, right? And it's been lovely because they've been at, record highs as far as most of us can remember.
Yes.
And it's been nice to see interest rates drop as much as over 1% over the last year. And it's been really impactful for home buyers and homeowners in many instances.
Are you in your office fielding a lot of calls right now?
Oh yeah.
With people who are tapped into this and knowledgeable about this and seeing the headlines?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just situational, right? And we're opening up a lot of conversations where people had decided to put the conversation on hold, and they're kind of opening it back up again on home buying, and it's been a lot of fun.
Let's talk specifically about the Fed rate cut, which happened a week and a half ago. I'm sure you got a lot of phone calls on the day or the day after that this happened, but if you could just paint the picture, and again, our segment here is to help educate you. So what is the overall impact to me or to a consumer when the Fed cuts rate?
So Fed funds rate is what banks borrow money from each other at, right? It's a set rate, and it impacts some things directly, some things not so much. And the things that it does impact is if you have a credit card, that rate just went down.
Yep.
If you have a home equity line of credit that's adjustable, next month you'll see that that went down. Certain things tend to move in the same direction, like auto loans, for example, or sometimes like what you might be paid on a CD. But mortgage rates are not directly tied to the Fed funds rate. However, what the Fed's doing does give investors a good direction of like how people are feeling about inflation. And when the Fed's cutting interest rates, it makes people feel pretty good about inflation, which then makes investors feel good about putting money into a 30-year fixed mortgage and offering a little bit better rate to consumers.
Is it safe to say trickle-down sort of effect to mortgage rates when the Fed cuts a rate, or an eventual sort of impact?
Well, what's really fascinating is investors are always looking at what nuggets of news they can, kind of make decisions based on. And the Fed is very intentional about how they choreograph every single move. I'm sure people have noticed that. So over the last 2 months, we've seen interest rates decline quite a lot over that 2 months, to where when the Fed did what they've been saying they were going to do for the last couple months, the market was already where it needed to be. So I think a lot of people were maybe a little bit surprised when they found out that mortgage rates didn't drop a whole 0.5%, right? The day that the Fed changed rates. We had already seen all the benefits of it. Oddly enough, what we've seen is interest rates have actually gone up just a smidge from where they're at, the day that the Fed cut interest rates.
Yeah, interesting how that works.
Yeah.
So let's move to garage door number 3. We've got about 30 seconds left, but if all you take away from this third garage door is that interest rates are just one piece of a mortgage loan. So what would you say to people who maybe get so caught up and connected to that interest rate only?
Yeah. It's not everything, right?
Yeah.
It's all situational. So for one person, this cut and drop in interest rates may be a huge impact for getting them off the ledge and getting them to buy. Others, it still might not be the right time. I think it's important you talk to an expert that can give you advice.
Always. All right, Tyler, thank you so much. Well, if you would like to share what you've learned today or check out other HomeWise topics, be sure to visit WHO13.com and search HomeWise with the $sign in it. We've also added a new link to that page where you can ask us questions or submit an idea for a HomeWise topic that you'd like to see us cover. We'll be right back.